They are not so furious. You know, they are not so very happy. And it's so good now to make a little bit noise about FIFA and about the World Cup in Qatar. But finally, now there are more than 6 years, particularly 7 years to prepare that. And where there is a goodwill, there will be a solution. And I'm sure everybody will be fine at the end.
Should European clubs get compensated?
No, I don't think why they should. Well, okay, this is a problem that we have not now discussed in depth, but definitely we are in contact. I have been personally in contact with Karl-Heinz Rummenigge before this decision to see how a solution can be found. And I repeat, where there's a goodwill, there will be a solution. No reaction negative or not. This is football, and naturally the European clubs, they are not so happy. But why they shouldn't be happy? They should also be in solidarity. This is the important thing. What we need in FIFA is unity and solidarity. And here we have to play a little bit of solidarity.
Thank you very much. Embarrassing though?
Well, that is FIFA telling us that it is December. And Seblata is saying at least give us a week to Christmas, 18th, right?
Yeah,
18th to 25th.
You see, for me, we're talking of 7 years away from now.
Yeah.
Yes, we understand that some leagues, yes, like the English league, happened. They have lots of games in December, whereas others will be on break. 7 years from now is enough to tidy up a whole lot of things.
Qatar applied for Summer World Cup,
no winter.
We considered, they are considering the health of the players. That's what we're talking about.
They showed us, listen, they showed us those air conditioned.
And they have not said they are not able to, they won't deliver.
It was based on those ones that they were given. I think it's shifting the goalpost.
Have they said they can't deliver what they...
So why are they going to winter?
That's due to FIFA's technical committee.
Talking about solidarity, I mean, it goes a long way in trying to
the only thing constant about human existence is change.
Okay, let's take the last few minutes to talk about the Keshi's contract. It is becoming. I mean, this is a year after that is the contract signed between not signed yet, that has been tabled by the NFF to Keshi. That is it, contract between Nigerian Football Federation and Mr. Stephen Okechukwu Keshi. So you can see that, but then we shall just pick up a few of the areas that have been causing rumbles here. Let's go to, first of all, clause 5, duties of the head coach. Clause 5, duties of the head coach, and then let's go to 5.5. One of them is that the head coach shall work under the supervision of the National Technical Director. Yemi, let me ask you this. Should the head coach work under the supervision of a technical director? Should he take answers from technical director? Directives.
When we say directives,
yes.
I want us to be careful in the definition and what we are using here.
Yeah.
The head coach will work under the supervision. When we say supervision, you see, a coach should not be a lord unto himself. You see some football clubs, they have football director.
I'm talking about national team.
They have football director and they have the coach. While some clubs will give absolute power to the coach to determine who comes into the club in terms of players and his tactics. So if the federation has said Keshi will work under the supervision of the technical director, that does not mean he does not have the right to select his players.
But do you know why I would disagree with you? I feel you can only do that when you feel you have an inexperienced coach. Coach, hold on. If you feel that you do have an inexperienced coach that has not delivered and you feel could deliver with better supervision, then you could bring a technical director to supervise him. But not a coach that has done better than some of even the particular criteria that you want to use to adjudge his performance. If you say that he should go ahead, try at least get to the semi-final of the Nations Cup. He had won the Nations Cup before. He had been there, he had done that. You don't start saying he needs to work under the supervision of a technical director, especially when the technical department had not been functional in the first place. If you look at the way it's gone,
let's go to 16. Let's go to 5.16. It said the head coach shall obey all lawful technical directives of the NFF Technical Committee. Shall obey.
You see, they have put something there.
Shall obey all lawful technical directives.
Yes. You see,
I mean,
when you talk of the technical department,
yes,
as it ideally should have people who understands the game.
Obey.
Who understands the game.
Yes.
If you see, it's about.
It's no longer about assistance, you know, from what they had said.
They said supervision. It's not as if they're imposing anything on him. It's not as if
that's what we are saying. That you can see that.
It's not as if they're imposing anything on him. And really, this is just a contract presented.
Anyway, this is just a shift in the goalpost from what it used to be. It's obvious that these clauses seem to make Keshi look like he's not the Keshi that had been reckoned with in the past and cannot continue with them.
Let us go to clause 14. Let us go to clause 14 because we are running out. Probably we shall look at this in let's look at clause 14 if it is available, so I will go through it. 14.1 said if the head coach fails to meet the targets stated in clause 5.6 above, the NFF shall have the right to terminate his contract. We shall look at 5.6. In the event that the head coach breaches the provision of the code of conduct, you know, as contained in Schedule 1, his contract shall be terminated. If due to gross insubordination by the head coach, he cannot even discharge his duties to the federation, he shall be sacked. If the head coach breaches clauses 10.2, 12.2, and 13 and 18. Now, let us look at 14.1 to where they talk about insubordination. 14.1.3 actually. If due to gross insubordination by the head coach, he cannot. Gross insubordination.
You see, there's always a line of reporting in every organization. They have asked him that yes, he's going to work under the supervision of the technical committee. And for one reason, you see, a lot of things can actually amount to insubordination. He has been expressly asked not to speak to the media.
Without consent.
And when we say without consent, because you can't go and talk to the media against your employer, but when it comes to speaking to the media as regard things that has to do with the team, nobody will say.
All right, can we briefly just look at the code of conduct in the schedule, which is almost the last part of this. It said coaches must submit their program of activity for approval. That is okay.
That's okay. That's
all right.
With that.
Coaches must not take decisions based on personal interest, e.g., collecting gratifications, insisting on becoming players, managers.
Because we've had occasions. That's a given.
Now, coaches must not use ethnic or religious criteria for evaluating players. How do you decide? How can you know whether the coach is using religious or
I think that's a no-no. We've had situations where where we had the national team have more players coming from a particular tribe, but we had always adjust them based on the talent that they do have at every point in time. So it becomes difficult for you to start saying maybe the coach actually selected from a particular tribe the most. So I don't think that should have, you know, in the spirit of federal character, we should not have that clause.